Close. I was like, oh, we don't have the first guest till 7:30. Maybe I'll move it to 7:30. Summer Vine. Best $20 you ever spent. Good morning, Ernie. Good morning. Normally, I don't ask or share these sorts of things, but this one hits home. One of my first coaches when I started CrossFit got the worst news. A new parent can get a couple weeks ago. Link below. Oh, I don't see the link. Also in Ernie's IG story. Ernie? I have a feeling we're not starting the show off on a positive beat. Hi, Caleb. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Caleb? Oh, you're muted. You guys can hear me. You can't hear Caleb. Caleb's muted. Oh, I can't unmute him. All right, fine. Here we go. Here's Ernie's story. Support Gailey's fight against brain cancer. Holy cow. The GoFundMe is I don't know what the GoFundMe is. GALILEA. Fight against brain cancer. Now can you hear me? I heard you.
Yeah, my shit was all fucked up.
Oh, I love all fucked up shit. This morning we have Eli Crane on, congressman from Arizona. I'm pretty pumped. He's always a great guest. He can't be on for long, so we got to hit him hard and fast. Ashley, brilliant. Nothing like having a beautiful kid. My dumper can hear you. Great. Vibrating the dumper. Oh, hit the link on it. Hit the link. I don't see a link.
It's hidden. It's like white on white.
Oh, there we go. White. It's white on white, he says. Oh shit. Battling of.
There you go.
Support Galila's fight against cancer, brain cancer. GoFundMe. Oh man, they've raised 50K already. All right, only 10 more to go. We'll put the link in the show notes.
It's in the chat right now.
Ooh, I don't even know how to process that. All right. Eli Crane's coming on. For those of you who don't remember who Eli Crane is, let me show you this clip. Of the great Mr. Kane. Here he is cross-examining, interviewing, speaking to the mayor of Washington, D.C. and one of D.C.'s councilmen, 224. You gotta love Eli Crane. Former Navy SEAL. Okay, here we go.
Councilman Mendelson, did you vote with the rest of the city council to defund the police by $15 million in 2020?
I don't believe that's the correct amount, but I did vote for the budget then.
You did. Okay. Councilman, did you call the police in July 2025 because of a protest outside of your home?
I called 911.
Okay.
It was at midnight. In fact, it was 12:30 in the morning.
Right.
And it was a number of individuals who were actually breaking the law, the Residential Tranquility Act, with how...
The Residential Tranquility Act. They were in front of my house breaking the law in violation of the Residential Tranquility Act.
How loud they were.
Okay, so...
Those are the kids you hated in school.
Yeah, those are the hall monitors.
The Residential Tranquility Act.
Oh, you voted to defund policing by $15 million in 2020 with the rest of the council. This is what the police union, police officers had to say about your interaction with the police.
I know what you're going to say, and I've already said to Mr. Pemberton.
Well, I'm going to say it, so you're not going to interrupt me.
Hey, pal, shut
Over the
fuck
weekend,
up.
Chairman Mendelson called the police because there were peaceful protesters at his house, because he decimated the police department with horrible legislation, and our staffing has now 800 plus vacancies. There was a delay in response.
800 vacancies. By the way, the ramifications of that is overtime is through the roof in DC. It's almost like they do it on purpose.
Right.
800 vacancies just in the Washington, D.C. Police Department.
Responding to his home. Because of the delay, Chairman Mendelson called and screamed at OUC and MPD staff. There is now a permanent security detail at his home staffed by an MPD officer who should be handling more important matters. We currently have 3,100 total sworn members, the lowest in 50 years, and we now have to dedicate one of them to be a security blanket for a man who hates cops, while other people calling 911 for real emergencies will have to wait. This nonsense must end immediately. So that's what the police department had to say about you
police
in that
union,
incident.
not police
The poli-
department,
Yeah, the
sir.
police union. The union that
I'm aware of that
represents police
statement,
officers.
and it's false on
Do they
numerous
represent police
points.
officers, Mr. Mendelson? The police union?
It's the union
Thank you.
president.
Okay.
What a fucking moron.
The Residential Tranquility Act they violated.
The police department didn't say that. The police union did. Where
Yeah,
the
fuck-
fuck do you think you got the statement from? You idiot. Police officers. Who makes up the police union?
Check that dude's hard drive. That's all I gotta say. Check his hard drive. Yeah, fuck the police. Let's defund them in a SpongeBob narrator voice. A few hours later, hey, I need the police. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, it's wild. Eli, don't take no shit. It's crazy. I wish we all had representatives like this in our area.
And now you have to staff somebody at his house.
Yes.
Just at his house.
Did you see Senator Raskin is defending Stacey Plaskett?
Oh boy.
For those of you who don't remember, Stacey Plaskett was the one who was taking direction. We showed the clip yesterday. She was interviewing, she was cross-examining, interrogating Trump's lawyer, Mark Cohen. And while she's interrogating him, she's texting back and forth with Jeffrey Epstein. This is in 2019. And they're both defending themselves now. It's crazy. Plaskett's defending herself. Do you think, by the way, she looks nothing like that anymore. She said,
I know, which is so sad, but like this picture is like
power bitch. That's good. Minus the
Same.
mask. That's hot.
oh yeah,
I feel like I can see through her top.
100%.
She said in her defense, she's like, I went to law school while raising kids. Do you think I would jeopardize my law degree? And I want to be like, yeah, not only do I think you would, but you did.
Also, if she went to school in the Virgin Islands, doesn't that like not count in the US?
Probably.
It's like one of those like trust fund baby things. Like if you go to school in Antigua to be a doctor, you're not authorized to be a doctor in the United States.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So people go to Antigua because they're trust fund babies. Their parents just fund them to go to, oh, I'm going to med school. Oh, really? Yeah, University of Antigua.
You got caught taking orders from Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing at the Capitol while cross-examining one of Trump's lawyers who was trying to bury Trump. And now you want to defend yourself? I gave the money that he gave to my campaign, I gave to battered women's causes. No, you took the money, ma'am.
She is the battered woman.
It's so annoying. These people. I don't know how. This is what I'm going to open with asking Eli how he works with these people.
Oh, it's like working with morons.
Yeah, the mentally disabled. It reminds me of working in the home for disabled adults.
I don't know how you did that for so long, dude.
It was hard.
I guess you just have to, you can't do anything about it, so you just have to exist in their world.
It was hard, and I was up for the challenge. I got paid $7 an hour. I wonder where these dudes get their news from. I was thinking about that yesterday, how far behind CNN and Fox are behind Twitter. They're so far behind. They're weeks and weeks because Twitter can just spout shit off, right?
Right.
I think Fox has to be and CNN has to be a little careful. And obviously they're towing their party lines.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard anything about the J6 bombings from mainstream media, about the fact that Has anyone seen that on mainstream media about how it was the Capitol police officer is the number one suspect now? Sorry, not bombings.
No.
Sorry, Pat. Not bombings. Planting of explosive devices, suspected explosive devices.
I haven't seen anything outside of Twitter or Instagram.
Dense's dumper. Eventually, Hiller will wander into the space of politics, easy picking for content. Yeah, you know what gets Hiller? You know what lures him in? Andrew Hiller. Every once in a while, there'll be some racist shit. You know, the woke people will start doing their racist victim shit, and you'll see Hiller come over on the edge of that and be like, what the fuck is going on over here? I like it when he does that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anytime the woke starts playing the game of equity instead of equality, I see that one kind of like bristle up against Mr. Andrew.
Need more of that then.
It's like Morning Chaka posting 2 days after spin about Hopper withdrawing from the World Fitness Project finals.
Did you know that they're going to the Fort Vancouver competition? Like they're covering the CrossFit Fort Vancouver competition?
Adam Knifer's competition?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he's having a competition.
I think it's just like an in-house thing. Like he's just local affiliate comp kind of deal. But I just thought it was surprising that they're.
Is it like Crash? Is it big like Crash, or is it?
I mean, big in the sense that Justin goes to it, but everything, it's all local pairs, I think.
I'm done with pairs. I'm just so not a team guy. Team competition guy. I don't I'm just not into it. That's just a workout. That's a Sunday workout for young people who are hungover.
Yes, exactly.
If you want really late reporting, follow Box Life magazine. They never fail to get worse than their previous post.
Wow.
Oh, Medeiros is competing?
Yeah. But it's like a pairs thing, I think.
Well, I'm
I
guessing.
don't even see it on their website. What the
I'm guessing that if Morning Chalk Up's covering it, they're covering it because they have someone really close to the area.
And because Justin's there, probably.
By the way, also, Eli only has a few minutes this morning, and after he comes on, Greg will be on. Greg will come on at 8. We'll have him for a quick minute, which should be fun. And I got a great clip to show Eli. I can't wait to show him. He's such a savage. Got it all queued up and everything. Good morning, Miss Dizzle Dinger. Good morning. Team sports overall suck. Oh, don't tell me that. I'm just getting into football. Is that a hair on my screen? Is my screen cracked, or is that?
No, I think that's his profile picture.
Yeah, don't do that.
Clever.
Don't do that. Miss Dumper, Miss Dents, I got banned on TikTok for politics during COVID. Not sure I want to go back there.
Wow.
Yeah. I hate X. People are rabid there. Hey, I don't ever.
It's like Reddit. But
I don't ever go to the comments because you have to click away for it.
You can't just like click replies and then scroll down.
Twitter is so not intuitive. You don't Twitter? You don't Twitter?
Not really, no.
Okay, so you go to Instagram and you see a post, and then if you want to see comments, you just scroll down, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You have to click on it, and then when you click on it, then it takes you to the comments. If you just click on the comment button while you're on your main feed, it takes it for you to comment, but not to the comments. It took me fucking a year to like intuitively figure that out. Yeah, hard to navigate. Yeah, it's not intuitive at all, I don't think.
So they just want you to keep talking about shit. They don't care about you if you respond to anybody. They just want you to keep the conversation going, kind of thing.
Well, when you do go in the comments are crazy, like she said, but like I just don't go there because it's too many clicks away. Like 1 or 2 clicks away, and I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna hang out in the feed.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right. It even does it in the desktop version.
Yeah, I don't know, and you know, a couple of years ago, I tried to get on Twitter, and that was the whole reason why I didn't do it. Yes, as opposed to Instagram. Let me see how Instagram works. Why I like Instagram. Instagram. Oh, I guess you have to click. Oh, yeah. So on Instagram, you just click the comments button. It takes you to the comments.
Imagine a religion whose followers admit they want to kill you, but they say you have a phobia if you don't want to be killed.
Islam.
This is the
Caleb,
Twitter
I'll take
comment section right now.
what is Islam for 10 grand?
That's crazy because that's exactly what I'm looking at. I just found some random tweet and this is the comment section.
I don't even know I don't know anyone who even calls Twitter X. Does anyone call it X?
No.
I get my politics and news here now, but this is a CrossFit show. The whole world has one common problem: Islam.
This is crazy. Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, go back to that one. That's New York City. That's New York City. Look at that's New York. Iranian leftists celebrating Khomeini's arrival in 1979. He later had 30,000 leftists executed. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all boomers and bots in the comments. Really? So Twitter's just old people?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe.
Old people and young Republicans?
Seems like a lot of Jews to me.
Mine just wants me to, my Twitter algorithm just wants me to hate Jews. Hate Jews and blacks.
Doesn't it?
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm like,
I got it mostly to stop hating on blacks, but it won't stop hating on Jews.
Interesting.
Jeffrey Birchfield, I just called it X. Mr. Birchfield, you are, I say this with peace and love. You are a rule follower, my friend. You're a gentleman. I mean, you're a gentleman. You're a gentleman. Recently, I don't know if it was a congressman or a senator. I don't know if you saw this, but he got caught looking at nudes on his iPad on an airplane. Some people say it's kiddie porn. Some people say it's pornography. Other people saying it was just nudes. And someone in the seat next to him on the airplane took a picture of it.
Nice.
And his response was he was on Twitter, and Twitter was just serving him that shit up. Twitter has never served me up a nude.
Really?
Ever. No, I don't see any beaver on Twitter. None. I see no puss, no dick, no nothing on Twitter. Like like that's
wow.
Yeah, do you? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
you don't. You do? Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
see none. I don't even know where to go.
Hmm.
Dick Butter, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I don't go to the comment sections.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I saw a Sevon nude on Twitter. All right. Yeah, Sean Sullivan, I don't see any beaver either. Naked beaver. Yeah, I don't see any yeah. Craig Richards, I always go to X for my daily dose of racism. I love it. Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Boobs. Yeah, I don't see any boobs, nothing. For me, X is just like, and now it's like, it's always, I feel like it's always been there, but I never noticed it. I see way more about the stock market. Oh shit, I need to check my shit this morning. That's what's happened to me. Oh, okay. Some shit's going up this morning.
What?
Yesterday I went to bed and everything was red. Nvidia's up, Tesla's up, Google's up, Palantir's up, Meta's down.
Thank God, dude.
Amazon's down. Western Digital's up, Seagate's up. I bought this other share yesterday. I spent $20. It's called Rocket Lab Corporation.
Yeah, I got a couple of that too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's done pretty well.
And they build rockets, I guess, for Elon's shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're up 73% for the year, but they're down 2% in the last month. Ooh.
I say it's done pretty well for me, and I'm down $40 on it. Never mind.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that it's so crazy. Isn't it? It's I called a buddy. I'm like, dude, I made 100. I invested 200, and I'm at 320 now.
Yeah.
And then I looked, and I wasn't at 320. It was just I had $120 sitting in my Robinhood account. I hadn't made shit.
To actually use or to
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like money I'd transferred.
fuck.
Like I
That
suck.
sucks.
Yeah, I suck.
Autopilot gave me a notification that it was gonna keep following Nancy Pelosi until 2027. They're just gonna keep following her trades until then, and then they're just gonna cut it off, I think. So I'm gonna have to find another congressman to get all my shit,
Is
make all my money.
Autopilot an actual? Can you just invest in that? What is it? Or is it a website?
Autopilot is like an app that you can use, and it follows. I mean, it has a bunch of different portfolios you can pick from. You pay like $100 for a year,
Yeah.
and then for like each portfolio you want to follow, and then it'll just basically go through all of the trades in that portfolio and buy and sell as it sees fit, basically. But if
And
it,
you
if like if
you deposit money into Autopilot?
you use Robinhood for Autopilot to work off of.
Okay, so you
So-
link up your Autopilot and Robinhood apps. They somehow hump each other.
Correct.
Okay.
So that just like registers that you have money in Robinhood, and then Autopilot will just trade it for you based off of like percentages and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
7:26. Check my text messages. Okay, we're still on plan. All right. When you get someone like Eli on, wonder how many people do that. Call him Elon instead of Eli. When you get someone like him on, you don't deal with him. You deal with like he got a handler.
Oh yeah. Well,
Or
he
an
is a
assistant.
congressman, so
Or an assistant or something like that.
Janelle Winston, my brother-in-law made $200K on Robinhood. Then instead of taking it out, he lost the vast majority of it. He was 18. If that was like 3 or 4 years ago, when GameStop and AMC went up to like astronomical numbers, that sucks. I made like $1,000. Oh, I barely put any money in, but I bought a bunch of GameStop and AMC because that was like it was like a Reddit stock. Like people on Reddit banded together to go on Robinhood and invest a bunch of money into it. And then it like a bunch of people started pulling money out of it, but Robinhood couldn't support it or something, and they just stopped trading on it. So people lost like crazy money on that. That's
Did
really
Robinhood
sad.
get in trouble for that?
Probably not. I think
I
the way
remember that story. Is AMC the movie theaters?
yeah, it was like a dying stock. Like AMC and GameStop were like completely dead, and GameStop, I think there's only a few stores left.
Because I was looking at AMC and it's just like like $2 a share or something.
Right. It was just a small penny stock. It was
That's
crazy.
cool. And no one's ever done that again. Did anyone get in trouble for that? Was there anything illegal that happened there? Or no, it's just like the power of the internet.
I think it was power of the internet kind of thing.
Would you rather have $10 million? I don't even need to read anything else. I'll take the 10 mil. That's it.
Okay. Nice.
Hey, there's Mr. Chapman from the Bay Show. There are people who have like millions of YouTube subscribers and they still can't even fucking get 5,000 views on a video. It's
That's sad.
crazy.
There was a guy who used to do you know what mukbangs are?
No.
Where they just eat a fuckload of food. Like you remember
Oh, yes. I've seen YouTube accounts like that.
the Shutkeever chick that we had on? The one who
Yes.
used to like deep throat hot dogs?
Yes.
It's like her. And there was one guy who did it constantly, like back in the early days of YouTube.
Yeah.
And he like grew his account to have like millions of followers and all that shit. And he keeps doing them, I guess, or maybe just doesn't do them well enough anymore. And nobody watches his shit anymore. It's like a couple thousand views. And it's the same thing. Millions of subscribers. Nobody watches his shit anymore. But he was like revolutionary back in the day.
Just stuffing his face with pizzas. Is he fat?
No, he lost a bunch of weight.
Oh,
James Hobart. I will do a mukbang on this channel. That would be awesome.
yes.
That would be sick.
You lose you can't do that, James. Come on, James. You know you can't do that.
Come on, James. You can do it.
Sevan, would you rather have $1 million or grow to 6 feet? I'll take fucking $20 rather than be 6 feet.
Come on. If you're 6 feet, you get $1 million right off the bat.
Just the government just gives it to you. Cash is king, baby. Cash is king.
Yeah, Epic Mealtime. That's who it was, Pool Boy. That was the Epic Mealtime was the guy that did the mukbangs, and now he's like dead. His channel is dead. He's not dead.
I'm surprised he didn't die. I bet you there are stories like that of people who do that, who die.
Yeah.
David Weed, Twitter porn. Twitter's 50-50 porn and racist. Wow, I don't see any porn.
We are living embodiment of our own algorithms.
Yeah, I don't see I don't see any porn. I don't even know what do you how does that happen to you? No, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. My algorithm is so clean. Congressman Eli Crane, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Amazing. You look like you're going somewhere important today, or you were somewhere very important.
I'm up here in my office in DC, brother. Where are you at?
Just sitting at home in the studio.
I'm jealous.
Next to my sleeping family. You're always welcome, buddy. I'd love to have you over. Eli, do you have kids?
Yes, sir. I've got an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old daughter.
Oh boy, you've done it. I'm on the other end. I got 2 8 and 1 11.
All right, man. Those are good ages.
Hey, I know you're busy this morning. This clip's going to take a minute to show, but I really want to show it so the people can see you on here, and I can get the clout of having such a badass on like yourself. Here you are speaking to in exchange with Mr. Tim Walz.
Cool. All right, Governor, you recently went on Gavin Newsom's podcast. You stated in regards to MAGA voters, I scare them a little bit, which is why they spend so much time on me. No, I'm serious because they know I can fix a truck. That's your direct quote. You also said on the show, I think I could kick most of their asses. I want to be very clear with you, Governor. You do scare us a bit, but it's not because you can fix a truck or change a tire. It's actually because of your radical left-wing agenda. You supported putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. You advocated for the disarming of Americans of their Second Amendment rights. You're pro-sanctuary city, as we have uncovered here today. You claim there is no guarantee to free speech when it comes to misinformation and hate speech. That right there is why the American people have such a hard time with you. It's not because we're crazy MAGA people. It's because of your radical left-wing agenda. I want to ask you on that last one where you claim there's no guarantee to free speech. Did you pick that up on one of your 30 trips to communist China, Governor? That sounds a lot like something that they would do. Yes or no?
So I don't believe hate speech has a place in there.
First of all, thank you. It's everything that all of us want to say. It's everything all of us want to say to this guy. It is nuts. When you do that to him, are you pumped? Are you fired up? Are you angry? Are you what's the mood?
Yeah, so it kind of just depends on who you get a chance to question, Savan. But what I'm thinking about is what you just brought up. I'm thinking about, hey, I know how many Americans would love to get some time with this guy to ask him what the hell are you doing, and I try and channel that because when I go home to my district and I talk to the folks that I represent and just Americans all over the country, it's very clear to me how they feel about a lot of these individuals up here. And I just try and put myself in their shoes and, ask the questions that I think that they would want asked, and also do it in a tone that I think many of them would as well, because I mean, one of the things that I got a chance to bring up to him is he said multiple times on, on television, on mainstream media that, he wants to invest in a ladder factory, after trying to sit there and claim like he was pro, border security. And he couldn't even remember that he said it on national television, and it's just things like that that, are constantly said by elected officials up here that has the American people scratching their head. That specifically that border issue, I think that was like an 80-20 issue. There, a lot of Democrats don't even, a lot of Democrats don't want an open border, right? For obvious reasons. You see a lot of Americans see the headlines about individuals who are on terror watch lists getting released into the country, coming into the country, all the gang members from Trinidad or MS-13 coming into the country, and, or one of their kids or somebody they know dying of fentanyl. And so a lot of Americans, that's like a layup, talking to a guy like Tim Walz, who said so many crazy things. And it is an honor to get a chance to represent the people that I represent. And quite frankly, a lot of Americans, when you get a chance to question somebody like Governor Walz.
And to put that in context, Walz said if they build the wall, he would invest in a ladder factory so people could climb over the wall. And you basically said, dude, what are you talking about? Why are you supporting people coming illegally into the country?
Yeah, and he said that after his opening statement, where he tried to act like he was cooperating with ICE and, doing what he could, to help. So they just gaslight you all the time, and then you just pull up you let their own words really be the attack against them, and it's kind of insane, but at the same time, it needs to happen. And I know a lot of people wish they could sit in my seat and grill him just like I got a chance to grill him.
Well, I want to say this. I think a lot of people think that they would want to do it, but I think it's much harder than it looks. And sometimes I get anxiety watching these guys cross-examine each other, and you do it so clean, and I so appreciate your temperament and how you do it. Going to the insane thing, if you and I were to, like when I think of politics, back when I was a kid, if you and I were to debate energy, you would be like, hey, we need nuclear reactors. And I would be like, no, we need coal mines. And we would debate it. You would tell me the pros, I would tell you the cons, and we would go back and forth. But now you're talking, this is tying into that insane piece. You're talking with people and you're like, hey, we don't think men should go in women's bathrooms. And they won't even have the debate with you. Instead, they say, those aren't men, those are women. And then I'm like, well, how are we supposed to debate them? You just went to the crazy farm.
No, 100%. It feels like we're in a clown world up here, where we can't even agree upon things that have, we can't agree on science anymore. I mean, you just brought up the gender issue, male and female. Whether you look at it from a science point of view or, I'm a man of faith. So I look at a lot of what I look at through a lens of faith, but it's just wild. It's wild and bizarre. And you'll see them. There are certain times where, they'll backtrack from their position a little bit on that issue, but it's so bizarre. And in many cases, it makes my job a lot easier, when you're cross-examining them or questioning them, to just point out the insanity and the hypocrisy. And, honestly, if I'm being honest, Savon, I mean, there's hypocrisy on both sides of the aisle up here. There really is.
Yes, sir.
And I try and call that out in my own party when I see it. I just want to call balls and strikes when I can. It makes me very unpopular at, a lot of the time in my own party, but I think that's one of the things this country needs is good men and women who will come up here, call balls and strikes on both sides of the aisle, and actually, instead of becoming a part of the system or the swamp, actually try and change it. And it's a very, very difficult thing to do. And I've had a lot of, firsthand experience with how hard that is.
So along that line, siding with the party, that comes up a lot, right? So that you may think that something's better for your constituents, but also you need to side with your party. and then there's that tension there, right? And then there's, of course, all of it's just publicly known now. I forget what the term is, but the president will just say to someone, or Elon will say to someone, hey, I'm going to get you out of office. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But basically, they'll support the other guy's campaign. How do you do that? How do you mitigate that?
Well, for me, it's kind of easy because I don't really like being up here anyway. So if they were to kick me out up here, you'd be doing me, selfishly, you'd be doing me a favor. But just try and be consistent. And, this is one thing I noticed when I got out of the SEAL team, Saban, that a lot of guys, unfortunately, I think, place their identity in the job that they do. And I think that that's always a very dangerous place to be. Like, I don't identify, I don't identify as a congressman. That will never be on my headstone, nor will the fact that I was a Navy SEAL or anything else I've done. I try and put my identity in things that can never be taken from me. And like I said, I love this country. It's a blessing to serve this country once again, but at the same time, I'm not going to be a career politician. And I'm just going to try and call balls and strikes and fight like hell for the people that sent me up here. And then I intend on going home and, being a dad and a husband and, pursuing other things that I care about.
So basically, these are just normal people up there who are in DC who will do anything to keep their job. So just imagine the guy you work with who turned into an asshole when he got a promotion, but he's fighting to keep his job. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing. They're just fighting to keep their job with no other North Star than keep my office in the Capitol building. Yeah,
that's a big part of it. And there's a lot of layers to that, and some of them aren't bad. If you look at it from the individual perspective, as in some of these elected officials up here, and all of us feel the pressure, but it's like, well, I can't really accomplish what I said I was going to, accomplish if I get voted out of office. Right. And many of the people that come up here, I believe most of them come up here wanting to do good things. But when you get into this political system, and you alluded to it yourself, where, well, if I don't fall in line, if I don't toe the party line, then, my own party's going to come after me. And I'm already fighting against the other party and their candidate. And I've already seen this, as a freshman, I voted to kick out the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. That had never happened in the history of our country, not one time. And so obviously my own party ran a primary challenger against me, and I beat him. And I beat him because I actually went there and I did what my voters wanted me to do, whether you love what I did or you hate what I did. And that's something that I always try and remember. When I go back home and I talk to my constituents, what do they want from me? What do they expect from me? And I'm going to try and do that every day.
That's a great win. What happens to those relationships when you know that there are people you're supposed to get along with and who are supposed to be on your team, and they do something like that, like try to primary you, or not try, they try to primary you. Do you get past that and the relationships continue, or are those damaged forever?
It depends on, I think, the individual, right? Like for me, I don't take it personally. I expect that, so it's like, I know that, when I fight with my own party, or, do something like that, I know there's going to be repercussions for it. So I try not to take it personally. And I always try not to make things about me. I think that's a really, no matter what field you're in, if you're in the corporate world or you're elected, representative, if everything's about you all the time, I think you're going to have a pretty miserable, self-centered life. And I just know it comes with the territory. If I make my bed, I'm going to sleep in it. And if things don't go my way and I get booted out of here, like I said, I'm okay with that, man.
When I was texting with Matt McCall, I was telling him a bunch of things I wanted to talk to you about, and I haven't brought a single one up. So I'll stay along that line and not bring a single one up.
No, dude, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is your show.
You're always great. I want to talk to you about Stacey Plaskett. The Washington Post, which I found fascinating, was them. They showed video of her synced up with her texting back and forth with Jeffrey Epstein. This is in 2019. He was already a convicted pedophile. And there she is taking cues from him and taking attaboys from him. And then this morning, I don't know if you've seen this morning, Raskin is trying to defend her. And they're once again they're conflating the issues instead of saying what she did was wrong. He's like, you guys are going to be in the files too. Then what are you going to do? Thoughts on that? Big picture, sitting up there and taking cues from a billionaire when you're a delegate for a really poor island. Not that I have any problem with billionaires, but a billionaire pedophile taking cues from him.
Yeah, I mean, I voted last night to censure Miss Plaskett, for what she did. The bigger picture to me was, the Epstein files in general. This is something that, I campaigned on because my voters wanted to know why Jeffrey Epstein was able to get away with what he got away with for so long. And so I actually was one of, I think, only 11 Republicans that co-sponsored Thomas Massey's bill 8 or 9 weeks ago. And then I voted for it yesterday, as did almost the entirety of our conference. And so, this is turned into a political hot mess. I don't think we handled it very well up here. But I know that a lot of people are pissed off and they don't trust the government. And this is one of the reasons they don't trust the government, because this is supposed to be a government that's by and for them, but there's a lack of transparency, and they feel, and rightfully so, that there's also a two-tier justice system. If you're wealthy, if you well-connected, you're going to get away with things that the average American couldn't, and they see that as unfair and completely unjust. And so, we're nowhere near restoring, the trust of the American people. But I think, last night was a small win for transparency and just, releasing these files, put it out on the table. I am, I do have sympathy for, the Jeffrey Epstein saga and investigation wasn't just one investigation. It was many investigations over the course of a long, many years. And I do have sympathy for folks that, got questioned by a law enforcement agency, had nothing to do with any of it. And, just by, their name coming out or being attached to it, it's going to, very possibly affect, their livelihood going forward, and even their credibility going forward. So I have, some sympathy for folks that, had nothing to do with it, but got questioned, and the victims especially. And so, we're trying to release as much as we can, but at the same time, have some sympathy, towards those folks, and try not to drag anybody through the mud that shouldn't be dragged through the mud, but at the same time delivering transparency. So there are dynamics involved in it. I think one of the other dynamics involved in it, and this is something I hear a lot from, constituents, people send me stuff all the time, is that, many Americans believe that Jeffrey Epstein was working for an intelligence agency or multiple intelligence agencies, some domestic, some foreign. And I think that that's one of the shortfalls of this legislation that, was put out last night, is that classified materials are not going to be included in it. Most of what you're going to see is, any plea bargains, any deals that were made with, the DOJ, why they decided to prosecute, sometimes why they didn't charge him. You're going to see a lot of information. And what I think is going to come out of it is the American people are going to be able to put together a little bit more of the Jeffrey Epstein puzzle, but I do think there will still be pieces missing. Oh,
and will we ever see the classified documents?
I don't know. I have no authority to, declassify anything. The president of the United States has the ability to declassify things. And when he does that, whoever it is, they have to weigh everything. They have to weigh national security, sources, methods, transparency, all of it. And, that will come down to not me, but the president of the United States.
And when he did run for office, and I'm a huge Trump guy, man, I swing from the nuts hard. But when he did run for office, he said he would declassify all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm aware. And, many of us were, cheerleading that, and, we were all for it. And, one thing that I've learned in leadership positions, and, is that oftentimes, that individual at the top often sees things that I don't get a chance to see, that you don't get a chance to see. And so I love the president. I've supported him from the start. I could sit here and talk for the rest of this podcast about the reasons that I love the president. That doesn't mean that I agree with, every decision, but I also understand that he does see things that I don't get to see. So I try and, when I'm thinking about it, I try and bring that into the conversation, that I don't have the full picture here. I don't have all the information. But I am glad that, he did a reversal on, hey, go ahead, put it out, release it. And, we'll see what comes of it, and we'll see what the reaction of the American people is.
I appreciate your honesty. You're only one of two places now that I've heard, two mouths I've heard it come out of, that it's just the unclassified stuff. Because, the media is like, rah, 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 this, we're getting it. But you're only one of two people I've heard be like, well, we're not really getting it. I just want to push back or add to the story you said about two-tier, that the wealthy get advantages from the legal system or are able to use the legal system as opposed to other people. I do want to say, growing up in the Bay Area, the poor people had a great advantage over just the middle class. And I'll just give you just a really silly example. But you're a college kid, you're 18 years old, you're drinking on the sidewalk in front of your house, you get arrested and you have to, or you go, have to get, go to like drug alcohol school for 12 weeks, right? While you're in the middle of your freshman year in college. Meanwhile, homeless guys are drinking in the fucking park nonstop. Yep. And the whole thing is a mess at every level. I grew up in the Bay Area, and it was nothing made any sense of who they were arresting and what people were getting away with. And when I hear stories of cities only prosecuting 54%, like I saw some stat, only 54% of the people who get arrested for a crime in DC are prosecuted. I'm like, I mean, so the whole on both ends, right?
Yeah.
And people and illegal immigrants getting driver's license that say no name on them. I mean, you and I, when we were kids, when we were 16, we had to go in with our birth certificate and our social security number and and take the eye test. You remember all that shit, right? Yeah,
I do. And you're right. I mean, it's in the two-tier justice system takes place all over the board. I mean, I remember when, the Hillary Clinton, email scandal where she was, viewing, she had a private server in her house, and she was not following the proper protocols. And meanwhile, I remember, sailors that, were on their submarine, snapping a couple pictures and, got arrested because they were proud of their ship.
Wow.
And it's just like, there is a two-tier justice system. I think I tend to be a realistic guy. I don't think I'm a pessimist, but I don't know that will ever go away. I think that's the case. And, even the best countries in the world, we can fight for it every single day. And we will. Matter of fact, one of the things that I'm most proud of up here is I'm the chairman of the Justice for Warriors Caucus. And what we do is we try and help active duty and veterans that are getting screwed over by the Department of Defense or the Department of War or Veterans Affairs or whoever it is. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. When you're in the military, the judicial system it's almost like you're guilty until proven innocent, which is the complete opposite of our system. And because of it, a lot of our active duty and, veterans end up, getting screwed over quite a bit. And so that's one of the things we do up here. I know I'm no savior. I know I'm, imperfect like everybody else, but, it is an honor to try and fight for, people up here and try and make that, two-tier justice system, less bad.
Are you working on anything for Matt Bissonnette at all? I know he's been dealing with a lot of the stuff. He's the guy that killed Bin Laden or shot Bin Laden. I guess he didn't kill him, but he is trying to come out with another book, and he's trying to get that whole thing going. And I guess he owes a bunch of money, and there might be some pardon in the works. Are you working on that at all?
So I actually reached out to somebody who knows him for that very thing. And I know he's got a couple other, angles that he's working on, but we stand by ready to help him if we can. I never promise anybody anything. I can't stand politicians that, promise the moon and then can't deliver on it. What I do tell people is, if we can help you, we will.
Thanks, Caleb, for asking the best question of the day, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't wait to Google this.
Saban, if you want to go learn more about Matt and his story, you can go watch the Sean Ryan episode that I think dropped last week. It
Yeah.
was a really good podcast. I listened to it. He was one of the SEAL Team 6 guys that, was on the Bin Laden raid and then came out after the fact and wrote a book under a pseudonym. I think it was Mark Owens, and the Department of Defense and the full weight of the federal government just came down on him. And so it was a great episode.
Oh God, I have so many fun questions for you. I want to talk to you about where you get your news, and the example is, so there's this thing about January 6th and these 2 bombs that were placed, one in front of a Republican headquarters, one in front of a Democrat headquarters, and I'm not seeing any of it in the mainstream media, but it's obviously all over Twitter, and they're saying that the lady, they're basically pinning this on a Capitol police officer who was there. And it's pretty compelling evidence. And then she's vanished off into the 3-letter agencies, and no one knows where she's gone to. When you see, how does DC respond to that? Are you like in the bathroom, like when that breaks on Twitter? Are you at the urinal and you turn over to Tim Burchett and you're like, "Holy shit! Have you seen that thing on Twitter?"
Tim's my buddy. I love Tim.
Yeah.
It's interesting because if you guys don't take my word for it, go back and look this up yourself. I was one of the only members of Congress that was speaking out about the pipe bomber issue and J6. That thing just smelled to me from the moment I saw it. And if you go into the details of it, it just stinks to high heaven, and it reeked of an inside job to me. I did see the Blaze article that came out, recently on that topic. And I actually reached out to I won't say who it was, but I reached out to somebody very high within the administration to ask him, this individual, hey, what are your thoughts on this story that just dropped? And what I can tell you is that I was told, hey, be very careful about what you're putting out right now. We're still working on this, and just be cautious about what you're putting out right now. And the message, the way I took it was, don't get egg on your face. But what I'm saying is that there are a few of us up here that did see that story. We're very curious about that story and are still looking into it.
Okay. And tied to that one, let me bring up another one. There's this report that there was a phone that was at Thomas Crook's house, tracked to his house and his job. This is the kid that shot Trump. And then that phone was also seen pinged in a coffee shop in DC, in the bottom of a building with a bunch of FBI offices on top. Do those things, I'm just wondering if those stories, do those pop on the radar? Are those things where you guys are sitting in the cafeteria at the Capitol and people are like, dude, did you see this?
Yeah, I would say I would go back and say that there's a few of us up here that care about these stories. I think
really not everyone, that's not just like a huge buzz.
This is something that I don't think, and I'll try and bring you into my world for a second. There's so many things up here that we're constantly working on. Every member has at least 2 committees, multiple subcommittees, different caucuses that they're on. Like yesterday, I went to a Western Caucus lunch with Secretary Burgum, he's the Secretary of Interior. He was talking to us about, what he's working on in energy and, forestry and all these different things. There's so many things that every member of Congress has to deal with, including, multiple votes that you're taking every single day that you have to be studied up on. That it gets overwhelming for a lot of people. It just
seems overwhelming.
It becomes like you're completely bombarded and you're trying not to drop things. You're meeting with constituent, services. Like some of the meetings I had yesterday were, we had a huge fire in Arizona up at the north rim of the Grand Canyon, devastated the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And, we're trying to, put that back together. I had 2 meetings on that topic alone yesterday, along with all the votes that I had. We had a committee hearing yesterday on China and cybersecurity. I mean, it just gets so overwhelming that you'd be surprised, that a lot of the things that you're seeing or come through your Twitter feed, aren't the talk of the town up here. In addition to, hey, we're going to be voting on funding the government again on January 30th, where there's a potential to see possibly another shutdown. And then, these Obama ACA subsidies that we're trying to deal with, and healthcare. So there's so many things going on up here, guys, that, it's so easy not to see a story, or for members to not, who don't really, and you guys obviously know how algorithms work, right? They know what you're interested in. They know what, sparks your attention. And so they feed you those things constantly. And there's only so many news sites that you can get through, every single day. And so the only reason I say that is to say that I don't think that there's a lot of members of Congress, based on my experience and my conversations, that, really pay that much attention to, J6 or the pipe bomber.
It's really good to hear you say that, because it kind of put me back on my heels and made me realize, yeah, like to watch all the stuff that unfolds every day still now on Charlie Kirk, you would need to watch Twitter and YouTube at 2 times speed, 12 hours a day, just to keep up to date on, okay, it's where that case is going. And there's no way you can do that and be worried about forest fires in Arizona, UFOs, China spying, the Mossad doing something. I get it. Yeah, it's crazy, because we fall into our own little bubbles and we're like, how come they're not investigating this? And it's like, dude.
Yeah. But on that note, going back to my buddy Sean Ryan, he brought on the lead security contractor on his show that just dropped, I think, on Monday. I did take time to watch that show, because Charlie Kirk was a friend of mine. Charlie was a mentor of mine. And, I've been watching a lot of the conspiracy theories on, what people think happened. He talked about his perspective and even his experience on target that day. And so, those are the types of things that I track, but, there's going to be, many things that, that I don't, just based on the committees I'm on, the experience and resume that I have, is not like, there's a lot of stuff going on with financial services. There's a lot of stuff going on with Bitcoin. There's a lot of stuff going on in, verticals that, I'm very weak in. And so, it's like every member has it's like anything, every member has their own expertise. And, you tend to like focus on what are my committee assignments, what's most important to my voters, what legislation can I run to try and help them with what they're dealing with right now. And there's just so many other things that there's no way for you to get it all.
I know you have to go. Do you have time for one more question here?
Yeah, I do.
Can you tell me how you met Charlie Kirk?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, my first conversation with Charlie was not a positive one. It was actually during the speaker battle back in January, a couple of years ago. And, it started with 20 or 21 of us that were fighting for a new speaker in Washington. And that went on for, I think it was like 15 rounds of voting. That hadn't happened in 150 years. So, it was getting national media coverage. I think we were in the 3rd or 4th day of it. At that point, there were only 6 of us left in the fight. And it was so crazy. Our own conference hated us. And I mean, I was getting threats from people in my own party. We had to wall ourselves off in a little chamber room on the side of the House floor, and we're sitting in there. We actually had to have the door.
Was it McCarthy?
Yeah,
okay.
It was McCarthy. And, we had to have somebody standing watch at the door so nobody else could come in. And I remember I got a text from Charlie Kirk, and the text was, "What the hell are you doing?" And so me and Charlie, I responded to Charlie. I said, "I'm representing the people that sent me here to Washington," because that was one of the top, in the top 5 things that I heard was, "Do not vote for Kevin McCarthy, please, for Speaker of the House." And so me and Charlie went back and forth, and, I will give it to Charlie. He showed up in Florida for a Freedom Caucus event like a month later. And Charlie actually apologized to those of us that were in that fight. And he said, I disagreed with what you guys were doing at the time, but I've come to realize you guys were right, and I apologize. And that means a lot to me when a man can say, I was wrong, I apologize. But me and Charlie, after that, we became close. When I was having, in some of my darkest days, Charlie was one of the first guys to pick up the phone and encourage me. And he was a mentor to me, I'm a 45-year-old man. And I think Charlie was in his, early 30s. Right. And so that's kind of cool in its own way, because I have so much respect for Charlie, and just like, not only his courage, but the guy, he was almost like a cyborg, right? Like his ability to memorize and retain information and be able to publicly debate at any time, any place, was just astounding to so many of us who don't have that skill set that he does. But he was a friend of mine, and yeah, that was really tough to watch, but I'm grateful for the time that I got to spend with him. Savon, he was so cool, man. I mean, this guy gets requests all over the country, all over the world to go speak. And multiple times he asked me if I needed his help, and he came up into my district and he helped me campaign multiple times. And he was just an awesome, giving, human being.
Yeah. I really appreciate you sharing that. I look forward to having you on. I have to say something about Matt McCall. What a stud.
He's right here right now.
Dude, tell him thank you so much. He's so great to work with. I'm almost embarrassed in how we consider ourselves fast. He's so good.
No,
thank you so much.
We have a great team, and because of all the incoming that I was telling you guys about, there's no way to represent well and do a good job up here if you don't surround yourself with good people who are smarter than you, who have skills that you don't have. And Matt started as my driver in Arizona when I was campaigning. And
that's awesome.
He came to DC.
Hustle culture, baby.
He came to DC with us, and now he runs communications for us. And
he's so good.
I love the fact that he's still with us. And yeah, man.
The guy never turns his cell phone off. I love it. He's just like on Sunday.
I'm sorry it took so long to
Dude, it was fast.
This, but it's an honor to be back on your show, man. And thank you for what you're doing.
Okay, anytime. Don't forget. Are you working out regularly?
I do, yeah.
Hell yeah, good.
It might not look like it, but yeah.
No, it does. You got that glow. You got that clean skin, strong man look. I just want to make sure Eli Crane stays healthy. All right, dude. Love you to death. Thanks for coming on. I can't wait for the next time.
Thank you, brother. God bless you guys.
Ciao.
Thanks, sir.
Congressman Eli Crane, everyone. God, I fucking love him.
He's cool.
I had to try not to cry when he talked about Charlie. You could feel his emotion come across the
yeah. That's a crazy connection.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys in just a second.
You show up every day to change lives. You manage a million little details, all of them critical. We get it. We know the founder mindset because Wodify was built from the ground up, just like you. We know details because we're true partners who fine-tuned every nuance of our own platform to make it work seamlessly for you. We know customer service because we obsess over customer satisfaction. You need a partner who understands your business and a platform that helps you run it like a well-oiled machine. More than another vendor, we're a partner who cares about your success as much as you do, powering your vision into a reality and your business into a legacy. We provide tech that can keep pace with your growth. The founder hustle never stops, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But with the right tech partner, you can focus on doing what you love, while we run things behind the scenes, making your business as strong as your clients. We're Wodify. We're built to build you up.
Yo.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Look at it. Greg sent me a picture of that TV yesterday on those wheels. That's awesome.
Sick.
Dude, you have a better backdrop than me and Caleb. Oh my goodness. I wanted to ask you about Plaskett right off the bat, but that sign's crazy back there. That the board.
The slit flap?
Yeah.
Is that like what they have in the train stations? Like it's like a rolled. Fuck, that's sick.
There it goes.
Wow, the audio is amazing on that thing.
I love the
It's
noise
cool.
those things make.
Wow. How often does that change like that?
I can adjust it. I think these are set for 2 minutes.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you. That's good. Hey, if you're a little kid, that's like in Mr. Rogers when the trolley car would come on
Yes.
every time, or like the cuckoo clock.
What do you put on there? Just like quotes or
I've got all my prediction quotes, but for seminars, I would put test answers.
Oh,
smart?
yeah, that's awesome.
Smart.
How big's that TV back there, Greg?
85-inch.
And that thing's stable, huh?
Oh, crazy. I bet the cart weighs 150 pounds.
Oh, so you could, and is it got good action? Like you just barely touch it and the thing just, oh
And
my
two big handles with grips on the back for rolling around.
And that's the new gym.
Yeah, here we are.
Wow.
And I was kind of spun around. To your left is the classroom.
Yes.
Okay. I was spun around at first. Okay.
Those
Crazy.
bad boys.
Oh, the chimeneas. Wow.
Wow.
Then
The flag's crazy.
it's the tour.
Amazing.
Yeah. And the Wi-Fi is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we got, big fat pipe.
Greg, thanks for coming to the Midwest Affiliate Gathering. It was an awesome moment for everyone.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoyed it.
That was this last weekend.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Is it still called Cleveland CrossFit? CrossFit Cleveland?
Yeah.
And that's Bill Russell?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right. Hey, did you see this? I just had Eli Crane on from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's a Tucson guy, right? SEAL.
Yes. Yeah, he's great. And we were chatting about Plaskett and things like that. What did you see this thing where this lady was caught texting Epstein in real time in 2019 while she was cross-examining Michael Cohen?
No, and what's the significance of that?
Basically, they're questioning Michael Cohen in some sort of hearing, and she's a delegate from the Virgin Islands, and she's getting text messages from Epstein coaching her on what to ask and giving her girls. And so that happened a couple days ago, and then this morning there's Raskins defending her. It's crazy. It's the level of corruption is crazy. And she's like, yeah, it's wild. Look, they got Washington posted this. They got the text in the same time that they have her up there. He's saying stuff to her like, "Are you chewing?"
Are you chewing?
Yeah, because he saw her mouth moving. So she's writing back and forth to him. Those are the text messages, and then they synced it up, the time code, to the time code she was actually there in the hearing. And that's Michael Cohen down there being questioned.
And
Thus basically showing that Epstein hates Trump, and he's trying to cue her the right questions to ask Cohen, to Michael Cohen, to fuck Trump.
Is the Virgin Islands, is that where Epstein's fantasy island was?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think she can vote. I think she's like a non-vote. I think the Virgin Islands is like
Member at large.
something. I don't know what they're called.
Not real.
But this morning she spoke up and defended herself too, and she goes, "Hey, I went to law school at night. Do you think I would risk my law degree to blah blah blah?" And I'm like, actually, I don't think you did risk your law degree to blah blah blah.
Well, what's the risk?
I guess she's afraid that the heat's going to come down on her.
For what?
I mean, right now she didn't do anything, I don't think, illegal. But if you're conspiring with a convicted pedophile who's also giving you $30,000, and now it looks pretty bad that you're taking text direction from him on what to ask Cohen. I mean, probably not illegal.
Yeah, what if he's got the good dirt, though? I mean, he was Trump's guy.
Yeah.
Epstein was too.
Good point. Although it sounds like more and more shit comes out.
And she's just listening to a constituent.
I think that's kind of her argument.
A very hooked in constituent.
A very rich constituent.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm more bothered by Comey and Clapper and Adam Schiff
Yeah.
than I am Epstein.
Are you following the Comey case? What's going to happen there?
I think they're gonna throw it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think Andrew McCarthy at National Review he's everywhere, but I see him in National Review all the time. I think he's got this. I think he's got a good take on this.
And is it because the lawyer, it's the same thing that happened to Trump kind of, although it didn't work for Trump to get it thrown out, but they've appointed a lawyer who doesn't have the authority to try the case?
That is one angle for sure.
And I wonder if they'll get other dirt on him.
Look at Andrew McCarthy. He's writing every once a week on what's wrong with this case.
And he would love to see it go forward, but he's just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, he thinks the guy's dirty, and he thinks that they don't have a case on him.
Greg sounds like God. Yeah, it's right, the booming echo from heaven.
Is it bad? Should I change that?
No, it's not. It's.
That's
I don't
good.
think sounding like God is bad. I wouldn't dare say that.
Right. I didn't want to sound all-knowing or all-powerful.
You can't help it. Hey, tell me about the affiliate. I forget what they called it, gathering or summit.
It was cool, man. Coop's cool. Ohioans are cool. A lot of Midwesters there. A bunch of Michigan people.
Did you talk there?
Yeah.
What did you talk about?
Nothing. I mean, I just fielded questions. Just kind of ran with it.
And was it any of it sentimental to you? Like, was it emotional, or were you like, hey, damn, I missed this, or?
Yeah, there was a games athlete there that showed me a picture of she and Bill Russell and I 15 years ago.
Do you remember taking the photo?
No, but I remember the shirt I had on.
Do you still have it?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
And were you surprised? Did the people know you were coming, or were you a surprise guest?
It kind of got out, but there were a lot of surprise people.
And how many people were there?
45, 50.
Oh, okay. So a good turnout of affiliates.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Was it sanctioned by HQ? Something like that?
I didn't get that sense, but I don't know what that would look like.
Gotcha.
And people are asking me if Coop's on the payroll. I don't know. Is he?
Oh, on CrossFit's payroll?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's.
How about Tom? What's the deal with Tom, Dr. Tom?
Dr. Tom, really quick on Coop. I don't even think Coop's an affiliate.
Yeah, I think I heard that. He's a MetFix affiliate, though.
Oh, he is a MetFix affiliate? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's funny because he was on here last week and he was singing MetFix's praises. Tom was Tom.
I have no idea what degree of compulsion or interest or what the potential is for commercial instruction on the care and feeding of mitochondria, but I can't think of anything more important. But that doesn't mean no one's interested. I kind of enjoy that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tom used to come to the DDCs. He was the guy. He's been on the show. He's the guy, but it was a while ago. He's the guy who had the silver bullet that he parked in the back of this. Did he stay in that camper thing?
No. Tom and Jen, the
health people
society.
Yeah, he didn't used to come to DDC and park that RV in the back of HQ. I think that was him.
Like a big buff guy?
Yeah. I think that was him.
Okay. And is Jen his girl, or are they?
I don't know. But they have, to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know a lot of my friends are participating in it, and a lot of people I know. It's like my I think my sister belongs to this group where like you send money to this church, and then if your kid gets sick, like you write them a letter and they send you money. I think they're doing that, but with CrossFit. And I think that's what the CrossFit Medical Society is. I think. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's like a
Like med shares.
yeah, I don't know the cash pay healthcare. Oh, Brett says cash pay healthcare. I had him on and I had her on, but I've since then my brain overfilled and it spilled out.
I remember the trailer, and it rocking at night.
And I don't know if that's his. That's how yeah.
The Airstream was moving, huh?
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing who was in
You're
it.
like, you better put some chocks under that, pal.
You can roll it.
I think I remember who was in it too. Kasoji. So you and I went to China, and while we were in China, there was this story breaking where the Saudis had invited this guy to their embassy in Turkey. And he went in and his girlfriend waited outside and the guy never came out. And then a few months
he needed a marriage license. And they told him that he could get it at the Saudi embassy.
Was he Saudi?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I never knew that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his fiance waited in the car, and he ran in to get the marriage license, and they dismembered him. And the Turks had the embassy bugged, and so they had a tape recording of the doctor operating the bone saw and singing in Arabic, like it was just another day at work.
And I remember I was obsessed.
Wouldn't you just love to hear that?
Wow.
And
I can imagine.
Allah, go ahead, Caleb. I do the chainsaw on Khashoggi.
And then they shipped them back FedEx in like 14 parcels or something. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did they freeze dry them first?
I'll refresh your memory and you'll remember. So then all of a sudden, I was watching the story closely. And do you remember the day before 2 G5s flew from Saudi Arabia straight to Turkey? And then there were like there were like 16 passengers on both planes. And then they loaded, they dismembered the body. And then the next day, you can find those audio files too, Caleb. I mean, not for this show, but it's out there, the whole dismembering. And then they took the body back to Saudi Arabia. They put him in plastic bag. They chopped him up into little pieces and took him back.
They probably have special pigs they feed you to, which guarantees you don't go to heaven if you're turned into pig shit.
Probably, you're right.
I think that's how that works.
And then it was pinned on the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, right? The guy who.
Oh, you mean the dictator with the sole control of the whole fucking place? They're blaming him?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it was someone else's good idea.
So
but it turned into a bad idea because they got caught.
Did you see yesterday he showed up at the White House? Yeah. And did you see the reporter question him?
Yeah.
And did you hear his defense?
Yeah, he comes off like a retarded 11-year-old.
Yeah, I had to read through what he was saying, but it basically said, I have to read into it, but he basically said this guy was trying to pin 9/11 on us in the media, so we fucking killed him. That was my take, because he went straight to 9/11 and Bin Laden, and then he goes, and there were people out there who were presenting the story in a way to make to sour relationships between Saudi and the U.S. And I'm like, oh shit, did he just admit to killing him because he was writing articles he didn't like? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, play it. This is great.
Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president, is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you?
No, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news, ABC fake news, one of the
But the
worst,
question is
one of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business, but I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like
It's okay,
that.
it's just you ask, Mr.
But
President,
please, go ahead.
you allow me to answer. I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden, he used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, to continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. About the journalists, it's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or not in a legal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc., in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that. And it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Was he? Were they both justifying it? Even Trump's like, hey, people didn't like this guy.
Things happen.
Yeah.
It seemed forthright. I like him better.
I mean, that's basically what he said, right? This guy believed bin Laden's. This guy was part of bin Laden's strategy to sour relations. I mean, I'm not saying that I believe it or disbelieve it, but I'd never heard that take on it because I've never heard the Crown Prince talk about 9/11.
He's a journalist in the sense that these Palestinian Hamas puppets are journalists,
Khashoggi?
Khashoggi, yeah.
Yeah. Jamal.
And
yeah, he fucked with the wrong people.
he was running with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, he was?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Look, these
Yeah, that's him. That was him.
they're all Muslims, right?
I didn't know if Jamal was.
Khashoggi is sure he is.
Yeah.
So as I see it, they're just practicing their religion on each other.
Right. Right.
I give them religious freedom. And that might involve paralyzing a guy with a drug and then cutting them into little pieces and shipping them off.
I wonder if they did drug him first. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. They did?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of them. I'm looking up to see.
The deal is you want to make as little mess as possible. Doesn't help your cause if you're getting blood on the ceiling.
Right. I wonder if he was. I want to type in, was he Muslim? Was he?
Of course he was.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. He was affiliated with the Muslim Brotherhood. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So he's a journalist within the terrorism camp. Great. I hope he got his marriage license.
I don't think he did.
Someone should have run it out to the car for her. Hey, you're married. We did it. We took
Congratulations.
care of it. Yeah.
God, and so she must have been out there waiting forever.
She's still there, Sev. He's still sitting in the fucking car.
She's in denial.
10 years later.
Yeah.
21 hours ago, just to put it in perspective, Abbott, the governor of Texas, declared the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization.
You know why? Because it's a terrorist organization.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. That's funny because I followed that story so closely, and I never heard that. And I just thought that they just whacked a journalist that they didn't like, that maybe said something about him he didn't like.
Look at the outcry for Khashoggi's killing.
Mm-hmm.
And then find those journalists and find their reaction to October 7th, nothing at all.
Right. Right.
And so if you think October 7th was nothing, then I think dicing this guy up into little pieces and feeding him to pigs was just like, it's like a sacrament. It was just like a little religious thing they do.
Right.
What the doctor was singing was probably a Muslim prayer.
I'm so glad I brought this up to you so you could unfuck me for the 12 millionth time in my life.
He was singing in prayer to Allah. Thank God for all these little pieces that solve our problem.
Abbott declares major Muslim American group as terrorist. That's awesome.
It's the religion of peace, right?
No.
No, little pieces, I'm saying.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
The religion of pieces, correct.
Storm Williams, Aloha Snack Bar. Aloha Snack Bar. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. When Eli was on here, he was basically saying it's just the unclassified shit that's being released on Epstein, not the classified stuff. I had heard that yesterday also. And as much as and he also put it in perspective. He goes, yeah, I want the classified stuff too, basically, but I also trust the president is watching this shit, and you always have to remember there's stuff we don't know. And this is coming from a Navy SEAL who obviously has probably been in situations like, people probably at home wouldn't be able to appreciate what happened here that caused X, Y, and Z. You think there's going to be anything in those files that get released?
Yeah, I think they got footage of you and I at the island.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They got footage of me walking around barefoot there.
You and Trump and Prince Andrew all naked with like 20 hot high school girls.
Oh, that sucks. So you don't think they're shitting there?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It's like, I don't know of any angle on this thing that gets me interested. Like, look, what if it turned out I was the only one that didn't go to Pussy Island? Like you went and Caleb went, and I don't know.
Would you feel like you were left out?
Yeah, I would. I'd probably be jealous. Hey, Epstein was selling 16 and 17-year-old girls internationally.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, I watched a 3-hour podcast with one of the victims. They call it a victim. And she was 21 years old, and she went to the island in her own free will. And she went there, and she was hanging out with some of her model friends, and Prince Andrew was there, and another guy was there, and there were like 20 girls there. And she said,
okay?
Yeah, she seems okay. She's like 40 now. And basically it's the same thing as the Diddy party. That she went to bed. She said she really liked Jeffrey. He was cool as shit, gave her a ton of attention, was really kind and charming, very attentive. She said she went to bed at night, and then she got a knock on her door at 3 a.m. saying, hey, will you come give Jeffrey Epstein a massage? And so she comes and gives him a massage. And then she said he turns her, and he's really like joking around and shit. She said it was uncomfortable, but he was still nice. And then she says he turns around and just started jerking off and came on the floor. And then so she went back to her room and left the island.
And that
I'm
was
thinking,
the first time she went.
and I'm thinking to myself, I'm still like obviously that's creepy as fuck, but like he didn't do, like in that instance, he didn't do anything illegal. She never said that she was held there against her own will. Do you know what I mean? There was another girl in the room with her, one of her friends. There was no other men in the room. It was just them two and Epstein. Do you know what I mean? So at some point I'm like, but then this is like a Diddy party. Like you went to a place with a bunch of rappers at 3 a.m. and did a shitload of drugs and got fucked. Like,
Had she been wondering why she was there?
no, I don't. She never claimed, but she did say, she's like, yeah, the only thing that I
She's
saw,
sitting there in a room at 3 a.m. I wonder if it's because he's found out about my cornbread, or
yeah,
maybe
My
it's
secret
my
chicken noodle
toast.
soup recipe.
It's weird. And then at 3 a.m. they came to the room and she found out what the deal was. And she was probably expecting to get railed. Instead, he just messed up the floor.
yeah. He never touched her, nothing.
I thought she massaged her.
Yeah, but he didn't touch her.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, just like when I think of these things, I just think of
So by that same token, Bill Clinton, you can lay down on your back with your hands behind your head, and she can mount you, and you never touched her. I never touched her.
I think I was in the Star report. It says she ate Clinton's ass. She said she ate his ass in the little hallway where the cameras couldn't see.
Whose?
Monica ate Bill Clinton's ass. In the Star report, Monica testified that she ate his ass, and he had to lean. Have you ever read the Star report?
Some of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I know they were having anal sex, and that he said that he didn't have intercourse with her.
Oh, geez.
Well, by Mormon standards, it's true.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Same deal in Arkansas.
Whitney Davis, that's absolutely gross. Oh, the details in the report, the details Monica gives are crazy. Like he had a bad back, so he had to lean against the wall, and they went into a little place where there was no camera. It's not what I would have done.
He didn't have sexual relations with her, but she had sexual relations with him.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, he never touched her, but she just touched the fuck out of him.
That's right.
Marissa, fucking
dare
gross. I agree. Oh, the Ken Godstorm, you're on a roll today. The Ken Chocolate Star.
That's good.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Well, I'm glad I got to the bottom of Khashoggi. Let me ask you another fun
We're
topic.
solving some global issues here today.
Yeah, thank you. You're bringing a perspective. Perspective is always important. What about are you following the bomber, the pipe bomb incident at all?
Yeah.
And
I think they got their girl.
you do.
Oh yeah. Hey, when the Reginald Denny thing happened that kind of kicked off the LA riots, you remember that the truck driver was pulled from the car?
Yeah.
I knew the gang dudes that had that detail. And I knew they were going to be called to trial, and I knew their testimony. But the deal was, they said that from the shitty helicopter footage,
Yeah.
they could name everyone on that street corner, man. They could tell you who the girls were there, like you and I, there's not even enough to see, but they know the neighborhood. They've sat in cars watching these fuckers for thousands of hours. They know everyone. You can tell by their gait. And that got me to thinking, and it's interesting the distance at which you recognize friends.
This is before like cell phones and shit. So a reporter must have filmed this?
Yeah, that would have been a reporter. But the helicopter footage was, that scene.
Yeah.
These cops said, yep, there's.
Oh my God! Did that guy throw that kid
Cinder
broke a
block.
lamp on? Oh, center. God.
Oh, shit. That guy survived?
Yeah.
Wow.
He would never survive today. Junior high kids in Compton would kill him today. God, that was so sad. He was a total innocent, right? Just in his truck in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time.
Wow.
So today's the morality here, the moral of the story is don't ever stop the truck.
Right. And I think in Texas, that's legit. I think some state, what state is it that you're allowed to just run people over if they accost you in your car? I can't believe that's not legal in every state.
If you fear for your life and you can make a case for that, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, a cop told me one time, if anyone ever breaks into your house and you have to shoot them or something, the only thing you ever say to the cops was, "Oh my God, I thought I was going to die." That's the first thing out of your mouth. Holy shit, I thought I was going to die. Oh, Florida. Thank you, Sonny. Florida. Alabama has that law too. I think Florida went out of their way and put it on the books.
I think I don't listen. There is no state where a guy runs out in the street with a gun waving it at you that you don't have the okay to run him over.
Yeah.
The Dakotas have a bill that protects people who run over protesters.
I mean, I also think if you have kids, if you have kids in the car, you're a mom and you have your baby in the back and someone approaches your car banging on the window or in any hostile way.
I think that's self-preservation 101.
Yeah, you're toast.
You have the means to run away much faster than they're able to attack you, so you might as well do it.
I think it's rational to presume that any one individual or group of people that is breaking into your car and dragging you from it, that you should fear for your life. I think it'd be irrational not to.
Certainly.
Going back to
they pulled him. The mob pulled him from the car and then did what? You think made him king? No, they beat him.
kiss him on the cheek.
Yeah, that's how that plays.
God, you're gonna be my lawyer if I ever go to court. That's a great line, Greg. I want to go back to the Jan 6 thing. So,
listen to this. This is a Capitol policeman woman plants a pipe bomb and now works for the CIA in a security job of all fucking things. Yeah, that's the payoff.
And all the cell phone data.
Remember the cop that shot what's her name crawling through the window?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You remember his track record and where he went to, and then he had the secret fucking. He got a big lump of cash that no one can explain.
Oh yeah.
January 6th is very much like Russian collusion. Hey, I saw pictures of the January 6th rioters, and then Jim Wad showed me other pictures from a different angle. And one of the things that defined the line of the crowd was a rope, a red velvet rope on gold stanchions, like that kind of deadly mob, you know?
Yeah. I reposted something that the Babylon Bee made. I can't find it right now. Oh, here it is. I posted this. I reposted this on Instagram, and my account was suspended for 24 hours. I reposted what the Babylon Bee posted. This.
We infiltrate the government, and we kidnap the Speaker of the House.
Everyone down on the ground! FBI! You're on the ground!
It's over. Oh, it's over, all right. What do you know? We were all FBI agents the whole time. We break into the Capitol.
So a little skit, basically, that all the bad guys are FBI agents. And I reposted that, and they said I was inciting violence. So my account was suspended for 24 hours. This is last week. Crazy, right?
You depend on YouTube and Instagram, right?
A lot. X. I mean, for the show, you mean for just getting news in the show?
Yeah, just for your business.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, if YouTube shuts me down, I have to head over to Rumble. The problem with Rumble is Rumble really is an echo chamber.
It's like you know your odds here. This is like dating Lisa Lugo.
like sooner or later.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
I think you're safe at X.
What?
I think you're safe at X.
Yeah, and we broadcast. We're live on X right now also. But this is just the premier platform for streaming and interaction, and all the ancillary plugins and all that shit work perfectly with YouTube. That's where everyone's efforts are going. I haven't experienced this, but a lot of people say that you're not allowed to talk about Israel or the Mossad on here. They'll pull you down right away. We've talked about it quite a bit, and it hasn't happened, probably because the show's not big enough. But you're not allowed. Even
talk about Mossad.
Yeah, like even Eli was very careful to say when we were talking about, I don't remember if it was January 6th or whatever, when he was just on, he said, yeah, and a lot of people think that, they're affiliated with Israeli intelligence or foreign intelligence agencies. And he was talking about Israel and the Mossad, but he didn't say it. And a lot of people, like a lot of those shows, they have like weird hand signals they use for it, or they play a sound on their soundboard instead of saying Israel or Mossad. Jay Payne became a YouTube member. Thank you, Jay. Hey, so all the phones have been and so they don't have any of the data from the phones from January 5th or January 6th of any of those people either. Ironically, those 2 days, the head of the Secret Service, do you remember that? She testified that they switched phone companies and so they lost all the text messages. So that's probably what that is too, if you were to follow along this line of logic, because she would have had a work phone on her and they could have pinged where she's at. Did you see that they were investigating her neighbor as one of the chief suspects of the bombing?
Who?
This lady that they're pinning it on now, on the planting of the bombs. They had been investigating her neighbor right after Jan 6. And then the FBI told the agents, and the agents have since said it was really weird. We were investigating her neighbor and we were going to do a walk and talk. I guess that's where you just walk up to their door and knock on the door and question them. And they said no, and they ended that. They closed that investigation into that guy. And somehow, I don't know exactly how this works, but somehow a Metro card that he bought is somehow tied to the planting of those bombs. And I've also heard that those weren't even real bombs. That the whole thing was just a stunt. Did you ever hear that those weren't real bombs? Like people who've seen pictures of them, like, that's not a real bomb.
No, but I don't think there was an insurrection or ever a thought of one or attempt or.
Right. And then are you following this thing with the BBC? Did you see that footage that they clipped?
I did follow that.
Do you think that he's going to win money from them?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, the hard part's the damages, In
a defamation lawsuit, you have to prove damages.
At least in our system.
It's fucking crazy that they do shit like that. And it's only getting
like in the IC reps deal. The court in Australia, the court was okay. Yeah, he told a horrible lie trying to fuck you over, and what happened? You got rich. It made it hard.
Yeah. I saw this clip. Can you pull that clip up, Caleb, that Sousa made? And it reminded me so much of CrossFit 2008 when it was like, fuck you, this is hard. I wonder how you'll feel about this. They put together this little kind of like ad for CrossFit, and it just reminded, how for years before you hold on, for years it's been like, no, CrossFit won't hurt you. No, it's safe. And then Sousa and Pedro made this. Check this out.
What would I say to someone trying CrossFit for the first time?
Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Excuse me?
What would I say?
Any thoughts on that? I feel like I just like it how it goes just the opposite way of just like instead of defending yourself, it's like, yeah, fuck you. This shit's hard.
Yeah, now who made that and for what?
I don't know what they made it for. I just saw it pop up today, and I saw that Pedro White from Coffee Pods and Wads and Sousa collabed on it. Who else collabed on it? And Andrew Hiller.
Okay, so they all made it.
Yeah. So I assume yeah.
I don't know. You know, I mean, what do you expect the architect of the vomiting clown to tell you? You know, I sold $1 million worth of Smokey like cheap crack T-shirts.
Really?
Yeah, Jimmy told me he thinks every cop in America had one.
That's
amazing. Yeah,
that's so good.
And it took me really 20 years, 18 years until recently to really appreciate the infidel shirt too.
Why you didn't like the infidel shirt?
I don't know. It didn't ever land with me. And now I get it like more than ever. I'm just 20 years.
It's just a
all this.
Yeah.
It's just a middle finger. It's like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm an infidel.
Yeah.
I
I'm
got
gonna fucking
emails passed to me from Army, Coast Guard, Marine, and Navy brass letting the boys and girls know no more infidel shirts. And that's when we started doing the clear ink. It come out clear ink and flat. Remember that?
Who said no more infidel shirts? I missed that.
Seniors, top Pentagon officials from each branch. And as it filtered into the boys, we'd eventually be sent one. Look what they're trying to do. No more infidel shirts.
Yeah, the thing is, when I came to CrossFit, the libtard in me was like, oh, that's offensive. I was more worried about the feelings of the mass murderers than anyone else. Oh, that's alienating people.
Yeah, alienate the Muslims.
Infidel for life.
There's so many GWAT vets that have this tattooed on them somewhere.
Hi, Billy. I miss Grundler.
He's great.
We're gonna fly him out while you're here.
Oh yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. I get to see him a couple times a year. I just hung out with him in North Carolina. We had a project together out there that was awesome. He's the best. He's so easy.
He's good people.
And so competent. What do you got planned for today?
You know, I've got I got my backup reading coach coming for the little ones. And I've got the music studio engineer crew coming today to talk about using the studio and orienting us towards that.
The boys were asking me if there's a drum set up there.
There is.
And a piano.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A Stratocaster and a Telecaster and amps. It's a full recording studio.
That's awesome. The boys about
piano and Yamaha with all the jacks built in.
In that room that you're in there, that gym has speakers too, all built in.
Crazy speakers. I'm sitting around one that I think it'd kill an elementary school if it fell. Hey, Rhett's turning the corners on the rings.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Already?
He goes, "You think Avi and Ari can do that?" I go, "I don't think so, but I think they will once they've been here for a while." And I go, "You got to get really good at it."
He came up. He figured out the technique himself.
Well, Coach Robinson sent us this. Let me show you. And he's cool as fuck, by the way.
Is that the rigger?
Yeah, he was the Air Force Academy gymnastics coach and a gymnast himself of the first order. And weird enough, in college, he was teammates with one of my friends from high school. And he knew that. Let's see here. I'm sending it to Savon and Matt. I don't know why I just do that. But look at this little
I need to get you on a thread with Caleb.
Traveling rings in circle.
God, technology is amazing. Did Rhett see this?
Yeah, but it doesn't, he just played until he got an arc going and let go and caught it. Now he's getting better and better and better at it. But it's
Do you need to be tall to do it? Do you need to be tall like him to
No,
do it? No.
No. In fact, it looks for all the world like Robbie's got all the advantage here. She's good.
What the fuck?
Oh, so you have to start that from the beginning.
No, I mean, you can just go from the back and forth if you.
But as he goes down the straight lane of rings, is he already doing a spinning motion?
He did on this, but he wouldn't need to. The thing is when you.
Wow.
That's cool.
He has total control over which circle he's in.
Yeah. You have a mushroom there by any chance, Greg?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just put Aeon to getting the Pillars of Power and Vulcan racks and shit ordered.
I got
6 because I think even with a dozen people, I'd like to split them into spotter, squatter pairs.
Yeah. We just got a mushroom.
Yeah, you're telling me. You said you're gonna bring one here.
And the boys, they love it. They absolutely love it.
They doing double leg circles on it?
Not quite. They Avi's the first one to get all the way around one circle, but at the gymnastics studio they have a bucket.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can put a bucket on a rope on the rings here, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, they put on a pair of socks and climb into the bucket. And I was trying to buy a bucket, but I can't find one. Everyone wants you to make your own. It's just all do-it-yourself videos. I'm like, can't someone just sell me a bucket for $50? I don't have time to drill a hole in it. All right. Well, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, man.
And I'll see you in like a week.
Yeah, it rained hard here today.
Again?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple inches. It must be like a 500-year storm or something.
Hey, I got this theory that we used to have storms and now they call them atmospheric rivers because that's libtard climate change talk.
Yeah, I was talking
to scare people. Say that again?
I was talking to David about this, and I fully agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, I never hear the word storm or it's raining hard anymore. It's all atmospheric river. Like it's supposed to scare you.
Yeah. I was explaining today that there's few bets safer than dismissing any and all doomsaying. And this is so baked into reality that it's like a DSM kind of standard that doomsaying, the end is near types, that's just a facet of mental illness. And that was clearly understood when I was a kid. And so if you put the end is near and look at images and look at the kinds of creatures, they always look like someone that was left on an island for 15 years without fucking human contact. What you might today call a homeless person or an unhomed or an urban camper, pick your language. These people are out of their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And we're given to mass hysteria. COVID was one. Global warming. The problem now is that they've got this. We're working this new theory, and it's just come out of MIT, and the global warming is raising the temperature of the higher atmosphere, which ironically is going to make it colder. And the problem they have is that the anthropogenic global warming that's planned is running directly counter to what's looking like an inevitable trend to an unprecedented cold period based on that twin dynamo concept that the Royal Astronomical Society put forward about 6-7 years ago. And you look you can see in the backwater orgies where the climate fucking furries hang. They'll talk about about the Royal Astronomy Society being correct, and it will be cooling, but we're pretty sure that they've overestimated the significance of this thing, blah, blah, blah. Someone has modeled climate effectively, recognizing that there's a twin dynamo component to the sun cycles, both the convection and radiation, and this is what's responsible for the Maurer minimum and a bunch of other kind of phenomenon. But these people just called it outright. In 2036, we're going to be in the same position we were with this twin dynamo when the Thames froze over 250 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we're headed into a very cold winter, and that now they have to explain that it's part of global warming, you know? But it's fucking hilarious. You get as much out of listening to this as you will. I've got some great material from you on intellectual writings on science. Fucking amazing.
Who's the author? Is it one guy?
It's it's just a whole collection of things. Levett and Gross collected things from what they call postmodern departments at universities. Like one lady wrote a paper about pi and Newton's gravity are just rape tools, and that science won't advance until there's more women and black people. And this is like 1985, 1990 kind of shit.
Holy shit.
It's so bad that no one intelligent would have read it. And I hate to share this with people, but intelligent people need to look at what the fucking idiots are doing. Because a lot of it just gets worse. But we are in a period of mass hysteria. It's amazing. It's amazing what I see people believing in the fringes.
Well, are they in the fringes? And it's 60 seconds. Greg just made up for his lack of using big words from the last 60 minutes. Hey, it's not in the fringes though, right? How do you debate someone on whether men are allowed in women's bathrooms when they won't even acknowledge that those are men? I mean, it's here. The fucking insanity is here. You can't even talk to them.
You were talking to me about Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, he's crazy as fuck.
And I was sharing that with Waddell. And I was telling him, you know what? Like, I've seen his name before, but the chances of me ever hearing him aren't 1 in a million. You know, like I just don't go those places.
Right.
And you should. We should. I should hear him.
Yeah, I would be he's pretty wild. He's pretty wild. But when he weighs in on women, that's when I really see his true colors shining.
Hey, did you catch Hitler in the DNA testing?
That he did escape and he was living in Argentina, that thing?
No, that they took a swatch from the couch where he blew his brains out, and some soldier had that all these years and has passed it down now, and it got DNA tested and crossed with other known samples of his effects, and it's certainly him. But he has a genetic defect that would give him a micro penis, and he had one undescended testicle and had no chance of ever being able to have intercourse ever. He's a full-blown incel.
Wow.
Well, that explains his hatred toward Jews.
And that explains Nick Fuentes. Wow. I want to see Nick's DNA. Wow.
Yeah, he killed 6 million Jews because he suffered from smallpox.
Because he got a micropene.
Yep.
Have you ever Googled micropenis?
No, but I had a friend who
smaller than you could even imagine.
Who was given to violence and huge and very effective at violence. And one of my buddies just asked him one time, Jan, why are you so fucking mean? And he goes, I suffer from smallpox, asshole. And we all knew what the reference was. And like, whoa,
wow.
I heard him address it. Smallpox. Wow. Worse than smallpox.
Way
Yeah.
worse.
Yes.
More
And it
people
may-
are killed by smallcocks than
And
smallpox.
it can make you a violent person.
I understand that.
Yeah. Seems reasonable to me. Love you guys. I gotta go.
Okay, love you too. Bye.
All right, buddy. Bye, Caleb. Hey, come visit.
All right.
Greg Glassman. Eli Crane, what a great show.
That
Hey,
was cool.
I'm gonna connect you with Matt McCall. That's Eli's handler, dude, communications guy.
Okay.
I think he wants a high res version of the show.
Okay. I'll just cut out the piece that it has him on it. I'll send it to him.
Boy,
That
oh
show
boy.
he did with that Sean Ryan did with Matt Bissonnette.
Yeah.
Who shot Bin Laden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what's the deal there? So Ryan O'Neal didn't kill Bin Laden?
So Matt Bissonnette shot Bin Laden but did not kill him. Rob O'Neal is the one who shot him in the face when they got up to that third story.
Yeah.
And killed him, and then Matt Bissonnette just pumped a few more rounds into him when he was on the ground twitching.
So
like
Bissonnette shot him first, then O'Neal, then Bissonnette again?
No. O'Neal shot him first, and then Bissonnette was the second man in the stack.
Oh.
And then when they cleared the room, he shot Bin Laden a couple more times when he was twitching. So, but regardless, he was on the mission. He wrote a book when they got back because he saw Leon Panetta bring Hollywood producers around Langley, the CIA facility, so that they would like get the story right to make a movie. They had already greenlit a movie. Obama said it was cool. He was writing a book. Some other guy. So there was all these things in place. And Bissonnette wrote a book and then released it before Obama did. And in his book, he kind of made a snide remark to Obama or about Obama. And so then everybody else went after him. Like the DOJ just hemmed him up. NCIS hemmed him up. He owes like $70 million still or something like that because the DOJ requested he pay back all of the money that he earned from the book. And yeah. So now he's basically broke. And his community's excommunicated him, all sorts of shit. So like the big thing right now is to try to get him cleared of all that and all of his debt, and then to publish this new book talking about the other shit he's been dealing with the government.
I heard that they were told not to shoot him in the face, and someone shot him in the face when he was already on the ground.
No, they shot him in the face like right off the rip because when they were going up the stairs, there was a guy like his second in command, Khalid. They whispered that was the move to get him to pop his head out. They whispered his name when they were going up the stairwell. He popped his head out. They shot him in the face, and they noticed that he had a gun on him. So, like legally, you can do that. So then when they got up to the top room where Bin Laden was, he poked his head out too, and shot him in the face because they assumed that he had a weapon on him as well. Because I mean,
Wow.
what are you going to risk going around a corner and the guy's got a weapon on you when he just stuck his head out?
Yeah, that would explain, because I've heard from so many people that Robert O'Neal did not kill Bin Laden, that it's just a lie, and now those nuances to the story, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, I think Rob O'Neal said he was going to go after some people for saying that he didn't actually kill Bin Laden, and Matt Bissonnette was not one of the people he was talking about.
But
Matt
he
Bissonnette-
actually didn't kill Bin Laden. He just shot him, and then Bissonnette killed him.
Vice versa. Rob O'Neal killed him. Bissonnette shot him on the ground.
Yeah, but wasn't it the shot on the ground that killed him?
I
If
mean,
he was
if you
still
get shot in
twitching?
the head,
Oh, all right.
I think you're dead.
Trump was shot in the head.
You shot in the ear.
Oh. Sounds better if you say the head.
Shot in
Right,
the head.
Patty?
Survived.
All right. What's today?
Wednesday.
I think tomorrow morning we have Lucy Campbell on. Oh shit, I have a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Lucy Campbell in the morning, and Hibbler at night. The movie Hibbler. I should. Sean Hibbler, Amazon. It's
I gotta watch that. Damn.
The movie's called Climate Trails. Here's the movie. He'll be on tomorrow.
Gonna blame the Air Force, huh?
I think there was an Air Force lady who, if I recall from the previous, wow, it's already got 4.5 stars.
Huh.
Let me see. Do they have a trailer for this thing with audio?
Probably that square with the play button next to the more purchase options.
This? Oh,
Nope.
this. Oh, watch trailer?
Yeah.
When the threats started coming, I realized I needed to leave. And again, I had no plan. I had no job. I was very scared. And I came out in a time that I knew, regardless of what happened to me, I was going to be on the right side of history.
Oh boy.
You can no longer call something a conspiracy theory when Harvard, Bill Gates, and a CIA director are all calling for these programs to start.
We have barium and strontium and aluminum and nanoparticles. I think some of these technically incompetent politicians don't understand what a nanoparticle is.
Don't you want to breathe clean air?
What I do see is massive evidence that we are exposed to an immense chemical soup of man-made poisons.
It's going into our water supply, it's going into our nose, it's going into our mouth, it's settling on our skin.
If you just take the time to look up, it becomes undeniable.
We, the people, have not consented to being test subjects.
Your own government's doing it.
They're spraying us like bugs, like cockroaches.
That doesn't raise any flags? That doesn't make you think? Scratch your head? What's going on?
Poof! There's all the aluminum over this concentrated area.
You have everyone looking up at the sky. I mean, it's literally over our heads.
You see that shit in the Bay Area.
Nanoparticles?
I mean, I don't know what it is, but there's days where you look up and it's just fucking trails everywhere, crisscrossing all over the entire fucking Bay Area. When I lived there, I used to see it, and this lady used to tell me, I remember at the coffee shop, that those were chemtrails, and I thought she was batshit crazy. She was crazy, but maybe that part she was right about. Hey, you can go to like government websites where they talk about Alameda weather modification. And you can see there's government websites that talk Center for International Environmental where is it? I remember looking at it. Alameda weather modification refers to a controversial geoengineering experiment to test a method called marine cloud brightening. The project, led by the University of Washington, involved spraying sea salt particles to make clouds brighter and reflect more sunlight, but was ultimately halted by the Alameda City Council due to concerns about safety and transparency. I mean, you can see there's all sorts of. This is in 2024. They made the clouds brighter to help mitigate global warming.
So this is the global warming folks' fault? Can we blame
Who knows?
this?
But I'm excited to see the movie. Our skies are covered in Tampa Bay every day. Yeah, with that crisscrossing shit. If they could modify the weather, why do they suffer from worse and worse droughts every year? They're doing a shit job. Well, first of all, there's a presupposition there that they're trying to make more rain. But we've had plenty of rain always here in California. We've never needed a drought. It's just there's all these environmental laws that a huge percentage of the water that we capture, we have to release back into the ocean in order to replicate natural occurring runoff. And by the way, like it's been 3 years of just insane, beautiful weather in California. We get shitloads of rain and shitloads of sun. And no one's saying anything about it. Like no one's like, wow, everything's perfect. Like, I mean, we've had 3 years of absolutely perfect weather. No
Except for
drought, no nothing.
all the fires you have across your entire state that you don't have water to put out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. You think they're trying to stop the rain? I don't fuck, Pat. Who the fuck knows what they're doing? Oh, this is interesting. We need rain here on Costa
Costa Rica?
I thought he was in Portugal.
No clue. Can't keep track of where all these people are from.
Costa del Cream? Is that a place or Costa
del Crime?
Costa del Crime is a popular nickname coined by the British tabloid press in the 1980s for Spain's Costa del Sol. Oh.
Yeah. Costa del
Aha.
Sol.
Aha.
Very interesting.
Let's see where you're hanging out here, Mr. Weed. See where you're hanging out. See. God. Just collecting government checks, living in Spain. Good life, buddy.
He's basically in Africa.
Yeah. Weekend trips to Algeria. I assume we'd hid in Thailand. Very safe. Very good guess.
Good bet.
Oh, so now look at this. Deshaun and David. But no Thomas. Where's Thomas? Hello, Miss Ellis. Good to see you. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you. Caleb, thank you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.